These are the best places to earn interest on your money, to park your uninvested cash. And that's what we're focusing on today. I'm Vosk, you're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I focus on learning more to earn more. If you know me or the channel, I'm a big Bitcoin crypto guy. And so the first thing we'll touch on is USDC. That's a USD pegged stablecoin, but don't get lost in the sauce if you don't care about crypto maybe yet, right? I just want to start off with this one. 4.7%. This is after the interest rate cuts. These are pegged 1-to-1, or they're supposed to be redeemable at any time, all that stuff. But this is not FDIC insured. But a 4.7% interest rate is huge. I'm not advocating for this or endorsing it. I just want to share this one with you. I've talked about this recently, but the 3% cashback credit card with no annual fee incoming from Robinhood personally has me very excited. And I've got a link out to Robinhood and Coinbase and many things I'll talk about in this video that help support our content. But the reason that Robinhood stands out is they have $2.25 million of FDIC insurance for your uninvested cash. Their rate is 4.5%, but they have a bonus going where you get an extra 1% for cash you transfer in. So they, spoiler, have one of the absolute best rates we're going to look at today at 5.5% interest on your USD uninvested cash, and it's FDIC insured for over $2 million. Many people are at big banks, places like Capital One. They have some good options. Capital One, formerly Ing, was notorious for high savings rates and being especially easily accessible. The 360 performance savings and some of their other money markets have had good returns. The APY changes often and it's been trending down pretty quickly. They also have CDs. You look at 6 months, 12 months, it doesn't matter. 4.2, you go longer than that, it gets much worse. These are FDIC insured. It's going to be $250,000. You can also, on the topic of CDs, right, are like investing in a short-term savings account, typically, right? You could come over here, do the easy start with Navy Fed, if you remember, 4.7 APY, which gives you a realized dividend rate of 4.59%. You can go out a little bit further with some higher minimums and realize some other savings rates there as well. Let's look at a money market fund and talk a little bit about that, right? So this is Schwab. This is the Schwab Value Advantage Money Fund, SWVXX. It's a mutual fund. And you can look these up. There's many of them, right? You start digging around, which one's the best one? You look at these tools, and then you can start to figure out these yields. This tool is incredible. It's called moneymarket.fund. It's a website. It's kind of the evolution of that spreadsheet that I really just speed ran in front of you. So it's pulling data from a bunch of different places. And with this, you can see pretty much the money markets and their returns, what they're holding, and also their net assets. The holdings are interesting just from a research point of view and risk exposure, stuff like that. But it's most notable because depending on what this is and where you live, mainly states, it could reduce or even potentially entirely eliminate your state tax obligation. Federal is a little bit of a different story, but again, consult a professional on these things. If nothing else, let's just assume we're paying normal tax on the money we're earning. A lot of these rates are very impressive, seeing yields from 5.12% down to 4.84% here just on the front page. And if you're in a fund currently and you want to see its performance at a glance, because it's not as aesthetically pleasing and it's a little bit of work. Open the app, log in, navigate to the fund, scroll down. Whereas I can just open up this, put in SWVXX, the ticker, and I can see that it's had a 4.73% yield here, being outperformed by a ticker that I think is funny, Snacks, 4.88%, available right there in that same brokerage. Fidelity loves to compare themselves against Schwab. So they've got, of course, some money market funds like this, They call theirs SPACs, 7-day yield. They boast that your cash is automatically put in a money market fund and you're earning 4.6%. So the upsides, right, of these money market funds are going to be that they're very long standing. Some of these have been around for 20 plus years. But the downside is FDIC insurance, right? You look at Capital One, Navy Fed, you're going to get standard $250,000 of FDIC insurance. Robinhood, over $2 million. Another place where we can get over $2 million of FDIC insurance with your uninvested USD savings account, basically high yield, is SoFi. Now let me clarify, not over, up to $2 million. Their platform is a pain because you need to enable direct deposit to get their SoFi premium or whatever they call it. But there's no subscription fee, for example, like Robinhood Gold. There's also other ways, like you could just consistently invest like $5,000 a month. Or if you're earning a ton of interest, like $5,000 a month, then you'll be eligible for the higher savings rate. But it has some weird nuances on that front. And SoFi opens up a whole investing platform, much like these other things I've talked about, but they've been notorious for advertising some in the crypto sphere. Same with Robinhood there as well. Fidelity a little bit, not really Schwab, right, for comparison. So the big pro here, 4.3% savings rate, up to $2 million FDIC insurance there on that. A rather unexpected high performer here is if you have an Apple credit card or you're open to getting one. It not only gives you a credit card, but it gives you access to the Apple savings account. The Apple savings account has $250,000 of FDIC insurance and an impressive rate of 4.25%. So this is outperforming big name banks, right? Like Capital One. Right in literally this opportunity is sitting right there in your pocket. If you don't have Apple, right, you don't have an iPhone, I don't know, to be honest. I got one and I've personally used this. I've had a good experience. Also, fun fact, for whatever it's worth, Goldman Sachs is the behemoth behind the Apple credit card as well as the Apple savings account, making these things possible for the Apple user base. I have tested and used everything I'm talking about, right? I have tested Capital One, I have tested Navy Fed, open CDs there, and also with Capital One. I've got money in money markets. Specifically, I've got funds right now in SWVXX, among others. I have a SoFi account. Obviously, I'm on Coinbase, and I'm using Robinhood and a Robinhood Gold subscriber. To double back here, my biggest USD deposit is in Robinhood in the uninvested cash section, and I am earning 4.5 to 5.5% on my cash thanks to their bonus interest, bringing up again to 5.5%. We look at all the money markets in the world. I'm beating that yield with Robinhood thanks to that deposit bonus. That's not a forever bonus, but as it stands, I've got best in class performance. And again, if you know me, you may say, Vosk, dude, I thought you were a Bitcoin crypto guy and you hate fiat currency. Look, USD and all the other fiat currencies continue to be inflated. Their value continues to decrease. I love Bitcoin, right? And we can be all happy about earning our 5% annual interest on the US dollar. Or in the last year, I could be up 126% on my Bitcoin. That's not year to date, that's over the last year. If you bought Bitcoin 365 days ago, you would have realized a 126% return. Now that it's also been over 1 year, you would be now in long-term capital gains, or basically 20% of the money you earned over the money you put into this, you'd have to give to the government. It's not always an upward story like that, but generally speaking, year over year, it's become much more valuable. We go back a decade, around $300 per coin. How much was the US dollar worth a decade ago? Honestly, it was probably worth twice as much as it's worth right now, if not more. It may be appealing to get risk-free return. I understand sitting on some cash for bills, emergency, securing some wealth to some degree, even though the government continues to erode that wealth with hyperinflation. I get that, and I do that because I'm responsible for more than just me, right? Me and also my family, my business, among other things. But yeah, if you want to sit in a crypto coin and you trust Coinbase, 4.7% USDC, easy freaking peasy payouts there. You want best in the world return like me, it's going to be Robinhood with their interest cash sweep program, which is just the default that happens when you put your uninvested cash in there, in conjunction with Robinhood Gold. I'm very excited I'm on the wait list, I haven't gotten it yet, but to get the 3% cashback card. I know there's other cards that can do similar things, but show me a card that can do something similar without an annual fee. That's what makes this card groundbreaking. All these things are putting more money back into the hands of the users. It's power to the people. I'm here for it. I'm about it. And that's why I love to see high yield savings accounts becoming more known and accessible than ever before. 20 years ago, there wasn't a way to earn pretty close to best in class savings rates, right, in your pocket. The access to wealth generation and preservation is closer and more accessible than it's ever been. If your cash is sitting there earning nothing, honestly, you're foolish. That's really all there is to it. Maybe no one taught you. I hope that you're on this video and you've now learned. I can't, of course, give you financial advice or the government's going to jail me or kill me. But alas, wake up. What are you doing? Everything we've talked about today is free to join and earns over 4%. If you're not getting at least 4%, you are losing versus all of these easily accessible options. And before I forget, there's one other account that just crossed my mind that I forgot to pull up when I was setting this video up. It's Uphold. They offer a whopping 4.9% interest rate on your USD balance, and it's FDIC insured. But you got to be careful about getting money into that account. There's lots of ways they charge fees. Their UX, right, their user interface, it sucks. There's a lot of room for improvement, but there is something lucrative under all that junk here with this. You could call it a cryptocurrency exchange, where if you have over 1,000, you earn a whopping, right? It is impressive, especially after all the interest rate cuts. 4.9%, under 1,000, 2%, and a very high $2.5 million cash sweep FDIC insurance program, which basically opens up 10 different accounts on your behalf with different banks, $250K a piece. That's how FDIC insurance cash sweep programs work. So hey, I'm Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. This is my rundown through all these different programs, options, and opportunities. If you like this content, please subscribe. I'm always trying to learn more, to earn more, and get my capital deployed and working for me in many different ways, shapes, and form. Again, if you like the content, also please use our links and our codes down in the video description below. It really helps us continue to make more and more videos all day, every day. And we close out every video in style with 10 seconds of Tails, who of course is our CCO, our Chief Cash Officer here. I don't know. We take C titles serious, but I hope you're taking a moment to enjoy today and not take it all too serious. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hey, you want to buy a mining rig? Do you want a pretty good price on it and pretty fast shipping? Then you may be looking for ASIC Marketplace. Click our link in the video description below to not only support our channel, but support yourself with the coupon code we've got right next to it.